Hey everyone, it's me. So today, oh, my eyes have messed up. Don't pay attention to the mess up of the eyes here. So today has been a pretty quiet day. So an update on yesterday. So my husband didn't even go today to see his family. They ended up canceling it. So all the fighting that we went back and forth on yesterday ended up canceled anyways, which he claims that he wasn't looking forward to going anyway, which is funny because why did we fight for so long, right? And he put his foot down and he was going to go anyways. So, but he didn't end up going. They ended up canceling. So his sister's coming over tomorrow. But the plan is still for him to go over Monday to see his mother. Um, Am I invited? Of course not. Has he asked her if I could come? Of course not. His plan is to ask her if I could come every so often. Which I don't mind him going over there sometimes without me. I don't think it's appropriate for him to go all the time without me. Um, Anyways, so he claims he's going to ask her, but I doubt it. Or not in the way that you and I would probably ask. Um, because he would be scared to say anything to his mom. To say, hey, this is hurting my wife's, feelings, and we come as one, and that, I think she needs to be invited from now on. Things like that. I did find out that she had a get together for Christmas Eve, but my family was not invited at all to this get together. The only one that was invited, I guess, technically, was my husband, but he didn't know they were actually having like a Christmas Eve thing. He just thought he was going to go over and see his sister, which we had already planned to see my mother. So he was with me for Christmas Eve. But yeah, so nobody told us that they were doing a Christmas Eve thing. This isn't the first time they've invited the whole family over, but my family. My husband acts like it doesn't hurt him, and maybe it doesn't. Sometimes I love him, but sometimes he's oblivious to a lot of things. Um, but I know it would hurt my kids' feelings, especially my oldest one. Yeah, so other than that, things have been fine. I was supposed to go out with my friend when he was going to go and still go to see his family, even though I told him, how it made me feel. I think he understands a little, but I don't think he really gets the whole problem. But anyway, so I was going to go out with my friend, and that ended up not working out for me today. So I decided to treat myself to lunch today and go out, which my husband did end up going with me. So we had a date lunch, I guess. So that was nice, and we got to talk, and there was no cell phone use, which was so different, because usually if we go out to dinner or out together, we do, or he uses his cell phone, or I do. Um, let's see. The nursing home called me today. I thought something happened to my mother. I was so scared. But it ended up that I was right. She had a UTI. And so they were sharing with me what antibiotics they were going to put on. And they also wanted to try another medicine to see if it helped with the crying at all. I guess they didn't understand that crying can go with strokes. So they were like, we want to try her on this medicine before like the psych comes to see her. And I'm like, she wasn't like this before the stroke. This goes with strokes. If you Google it, you can find that out. So apparently, this lady, either they've never had a patient that has cried all the time from a stroke, or she had no idea that strokes can do that to you, which I'm finding more and more that people are not knowing this. Which of course I had to Google. I had no idea. It can go. They can laugh like when they're not supposed to be laughing, or they can go from to that to, or they can do crying. And my poor mom has done the crying, and I feel so bad because my mom's never been a crier. Even when life has kicked her when she was her lowest, I don't know if I've ever seen my mom cry. Maybe once or twice in her life. I'm sure quietly I made her cry. As a teenager, which of course I feel horrible for. Um, I was telling my husband today, I'm like, as we get older, I'm finding out things are not, what's the word? Like looks fade, you know. And you can see the sexiest person, the fit person, she's 20, he's, 20 or 30s. And oh my gosh, you're attracted, you got to have them. But they will fade. And I'm sorry to tell you this, but if you are blessed to live until you're like my mom's age or older, men and women look the same at that point. Sometimes you can't even tell if it's a woman or a man. They're peeing themselves, they're pooping themselves, they're in wheelchairs, they don't smell the greatest. So guess what? We all kind of gonna end up the same, right? And you get to an age that, yes, you're attracted to that person. There's lust, there's all this excitement. And I'm not saying even as an older, that you don't get that. But there becomes a point that it's about who's going to be there for you. Who's going to take care of you because you're getting older? Who's going to be there if something happens to you? Who's going to put you in a nursing home? Who's going to try to keep you home and take care of you? And that's kind of where I think like people my age and beyond should be at this point, because again, looks fade, weight changes, and it's not all like rainbows and sunshine. And who's going to be there? Who's going to take care of you? Who's going to make decisions if something happens to you? And the older I get, the more I'm realizing this. And it's upsetting, but it's comforting also. You know, that's what life becomes about one day. And I know you young people do not believe me, but seeing my mom, seeing so many pass away, it's just, yeah. That's why you see so many older men, especially like 70s, 80s, their wife will pass away that they've been together with for 50, 60 years. And they marry the first woman who's widowed, basically, who maybe was their wife's best friend. It's not about love, it's about companionship. It's about who's going to be there for me to care for me. And I know people are probably looking at me like, you have no idea. Yeah. It's just like, my mom, oh, she was so active, guys. She was out in nature, walking. She could do cartwheels. Not really. But if she could do a cartwheel, believe me, she was doing it around me. I thought that was amazing of her. People thought that was just amazing at her age. Plus, she was still working. But I'll tell you what. She's definitely not the same person. And I used to say, oh my gosh, you think you're 19. You are not 19, you're in your 70s. You know, I now understand thinking you're 19. I really do. And it's funny because I'm definitely not 19, guys. And, but I feel 19. I feel like I'm still a teenager. And so I'm understanding that feeling. Except for there are times I move. My body says, girl, you are not 19 no more. You cannot do that. Right? I got back problems from getting down too low. Things like that. Okay? But I still feel very young. And, you know, now I'm understanding my mom a little more in that department. Don't tell her I told you that, because I would never hear the end of it. Because she would love that. That my mom was right. No, I'm kidding. My mom was right in a lot of things. So, we had date night, or date day, I guess. Then we came home. I'm not gonna lie, because we're old, we took a nap. A very long, restful, wonderful, amazing nap. For me, I guess his was good. I don't know. And now he just went to get the groceries. My oldest always gets the groceries. But my oldest asked him, hey, I do it all the time. Could you go pick them up? Because my husband has a few days off of work for once in his life. So my son asked him, hey, can you go pick these groceries up? So my husband actually said he would. So he just went to get groceries. Oh, I'm also carrying I tried my new It mug, Pennywise mug today, finally. And I also carried my new Chucky purse today, finally. So that was kind of cool. So today I wore a white clean shirt. It is see-through. And no, there's nothing under it. I had a leopard print jacket on with some black pants, and my knee-high boots was what I wore today. And this kind of makeup that whatever hasn't come off my face yet from taking a nap in it. So I still have to clean my house because my sister-in-law is supposed to still come over tomorrow. Sometime. So that's why we're picking up groceries. I had to get a few, like, pastries to, have in the house just in case. Something to offer. Anyway, so yeah, so that's been my day today. Otherwise, it's been pretty quiet. I felt bad because we went out to lunch. I told my youngest, hey, I'll bring you something back from the restaurant. Did I bring him something back? No, I forgot. So when I got back, I had to order Uber for him. And of course, what was it? But McDonald's for him, because that's his number one, McDonald's still. I felt bad. I was wrong. Oh, I guess I'm still a little tired again. I have to do silverware. I think I mentioned, I hate washing silverware. I have to sweep, I have to mop, take some boxes out to the garage, and then, my house is lived in. That's the best I can say. Um, and clean the bathroom because, I'm sure they'll use the bathroom at least once, right? I think I'm gonna start. I know, like, so if you guys have had parents or loved ones that have dementia, answer me this, because I don't know. My mom's stuff is still here, obviously. And obviously, she's not going to be using, TVs or computers or her desk, things like that. Um, do I just feel so bad if I go and get rid of them? Like, what do I do? Just keep them there until, the worst possible thing happens? Or do I start clearing things out little by little that she won't be using or needing right now? Let me know in the comments for real, because I don't know. I feel bad if I get rid of her stuff. Like, I'm getting rid of her. So if you guys have any ideas on that, let me know. I really, for real, would be interested. Did you hang on to everything when your parents were, or loved ones, in a nursing home, or what? Anyways, so that is my day. I hope you guys had a great Saturday. So, not a bad Saturday. I think tomorrow, my husband and I were having an indoor day here at home. Um, that will be interesting. So, wish me luck. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.